Guys, today I talk about the movie called Do Not. Okay, it's called Don't Breathe, not Do Not Breathe. But if they made a movie called Do Not Breathe, it'll probably be one of those mockbusters. But yep, Don't Breathe is a movie that came out like in 2016. It was like I thought it was a movie about a kidnapping, but it's actually about these idiots who raid this guy's house because they want money because they can't get a real job making money. So he says, you know what? Let's raid this blind military veteran's house because he's blind. He's not gonna do anything right. But of course, all the bad things happen to them. They make it we want to feel sorry for them, but they are robbing a guy's house. Okay, the person, yeah, it's the guy in the movie kidnapped the girl, but they still robbed this guy's house. Okay, and he actually explained it. The guy who is the villain of the movie, the blind guy man who is a military veteran, he actually explained that the girl that he kidnapped is also a bad person. So in the movie, nobody is good. And actually, at the end of the movie, they said he killed those guys in self-defense because they robbed his house. Of course, they robbed his house. They tried to rob his house. They tried to steal money from him. Obviously, they are gonna pay. Okay, so this movie is kind of a conservative movie if you really think about it. It is kind of a conservative movie. These people invade his house, and of course, he uses weapons to defend himself. Guns, he barricades his house so they can't leave, basically. And so, of course, more people. So, obviously, in case more people come in case they have more people to come in, obviously, because you never know. That's how people are. But this movie showed that you should not rob people's house. That robbing people's houses are wrong, even if they are blind military veterans, because they could still have a weapon or something they can do to defend themselves, and he will be oofed and dead. This movie is not really that scary. If you want to put on the scariness sector, it is really more of like, you guys are stupid. You guys sort of not invaded the house. And you guys sort of really thought about it before invading someone. And basically, this guy's disabled, so they thought he wouldn't really fight back or anything. But he's a military veteran. He's gonna fight back anyways. It makes total amount of sense. So, yep, this movie was alright. It was not my favorite movie in the world, but this movie was still pretty tense, even though it was not scary. It was more of a thriller movie than a horror movie. But it's still called a horror movie because it is. But it's more of like a thrilling movie than a horror movie. That's my take. And yep, they also he basically does. It is also, I think, probably similar to a story where this guy did a similar thing, where did everything to get revenge on these people, and basically he wanted to keep the goal because he wanted to have the only thing that I think he tried doing wrong is that he basically wanted to kidnap girls so he can have another daughter. But again, the person who was who he kidnapped was the person who murdered his daughter in the first place. So, basically, excuse me. So, and yeah, and the sequel, which is coming out in a month, apparently he's going to rescue a orphan is to because he probably wants to have someone to look after, which I think would make a lot of sense. Yeah, but overall, this movie's okay. I give it a 7 out of 10. And yeah, and the sequel, I think he's more like a anti-hero. Which again, there's a lot of movies about anti-heroes. A lot of good characters are anti-heroes. For example, Sonic the Hedgehog, you wouldn't consider Sonic the Hedgehog a hero. He is an anti-hero, basically, or Vegeta, most of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, but yep, that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.